You got to get back to what worked last year. You got to get these two guys going. Now, Jayson Tatum has been coming on strong as of late, averaging 16 a game, shooting 45% from the field, making things happen. He needs to continue to be more aggressive, if not elevate his level of aggression even more so. Jaylen Brown's got to get it going. He's got to get, just reinstalled into things. That will call for Brad Stevens to not look out for his boy, Gordon Hayward, to understand that he is not what he once was yet. I think he will be again, and I think the future's bright for Gordon Hayward. I think that Boston's obviously the perfect place for him. I think he'll make some noise next year and beyond, but this year, you got to get back to what worked last year.
Jayson Tatum is undoubtedly a player filled with lots of potential. However, I do believe that people get dazzled by the sprinkles of the game instead of being concerned with the entire body of work that is the cake. Now, in this video, I will explain why I believe that Jaylen Brown is a better basketball player than Jayson Tatum. Now, I already know that a lot of people are going to want to thumb down this video immediately because they're going to swear on their life that I don't know about basketball because I don't agree with their claims or statements on a certain topic, and that's okay. That's okay. If I'm wrong, let me know properly in the comment section below in a respectful manner, like how my subs do when we disagree on subjects. Now, if you do disagree, I do invite you to watch the video in its entirety and let me know how you feel after watching. Now, I want to shout out the loyal subs for always showing the love, and I appreciate the love and support always from you guys. And also, if you're not subbed by now, come on, definitely subscribe to the channel and click that bell for more content. Praises up to the Most High. Let's get it. To make things fair for both players, we will look at their sophomore seasons, as that is a reasonable place to compare them from. Now, this is because Jayson Tatum, in his second year, is a confirmed starter and was expected to make the All-Star jump, along with Jaylen Brown in his second year being a consistent starter and being the team's second leading scorer. Now, to include Jaylen Brown's third year as a major component in this comparison would be slightly unfair due to him being basically in an awkward situation, to say the least, with the wing rotation of Smart, Hayward, and Tatum. Now, for those of you who wonder why I'm balancing it out like this, understand that during Jaylen Brown's rookie year, he averaged 17.1 minutes per game, and his numbers basically more than doubled when given 30 minutes per game on average or so the next season. So understand that he was still balling at an efficient clip comparing, those numbers. So just comparing raw data side to side without context is silly. Now, he didn't have carte blanche to operate while IT was there. IT at the time was putting up about 20 shots a game, along with Jay Crowder starting ahead of him. If it weren't for Gordon Hayward going down, Jayson Tatum's rookie season probably would have had similar numbers as Jaylen Brown's rookie year, and therefore why I'm disregarding both of their rookie year regular season statistics. Now, Jaylen Brown primarily plays shooting guard, and Jayson Tatum plays small forward, and both in last year's playoffs grew up very quickly with the absence of Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. Now, I want to highlight their playoff performances because this is the last time that we saw both of them have an opportunity to showcase their skills on a platform where they had PT and ball dominance in a sense. Now, in last year's first round against the Bucks, Jaylen Brown was second in scoring on the Celtics, narrowly trailing Al Horford. He was averaging 17.9 points per game, 46.7 from the field, 37.8 from downtown on 34.8 minutes per game, while Tatum in that series averaged 15.4 points per game, 40.2% from the field, 30.8% from downtown on 33.3 minutes per game. Now, in the Philly series, we saw a flip of the script, with Tatum averaging 23.6 points per game, 52.6% from the field, and 31 from downtown on 37.9 minutes per game, while Jaylen Brown averaged 15.3 points per game, 53.5 from the field, and 50% from downtown on 27 minutes per game. Now, it should be noted that Jaylen Brown played 81 less minutes in that series than Jayson Tatum did, and he did not play game one due to a hamstring injury, and thus, of course, Tatum was able to have the opportunity to flourish, which he did. Now, once inserted back into, fully into the lineup, Brown in that Eastern Conference Finals series against Cleveland, he averaged 19.7 points per game, was their leading scorer on 44% from the field and 36% from downtown on 33 minutes per game, while Tatum averaged 17.9 points per game on 49.5 from the field and 34% from downtown on 37.1 minutes per game. As you can see, Tatum's statistical impressiveness gets brought back down to earth once things are put into context, which doesn't mean that he was bad by any stretch of the imagination. He played extremely well, and for a rookie at that. But as I showed you with Brown's net number increase from his rookie year to his sophomore year, with added playing time, a lot of the narrative about who's more valuable between Brown and Tatum is just missing some context. In their sophomore year, they had similar success in terms of production, with both scoring similarly in points, with their per 36-minute stats of Tatum scoring 18.6 points per game to Brown's 17. And Brown's effective field goal percentage was 54%, while Tatum's was 50.8. Now, Jaylen Brown was stroking that three ball at about a 39.5% clip during that year, while Tatum's sophomore season was 36.8. So to say that Tatum is in a different league or is in, quote, just better than Jaylen Brown is really just narrative talking and has no factual basis behind it. I would agree that Tatum is the better natural shooter. However, these two are extremely comparable when it comes to their offensive capabilities and potential. People act like Jayson Tatum was Kobe or something coming out in terms of his youth. But look, man, like my guy, he's about 1 year younger than Jaylen Brown is. They are very close in age. To the casual basketball fan and extremists alike, Tatum's game is just visually more appealing, with smoother footwork and a smoother jumper. Now, while this is true, Jaylen Brown's offensive repertoire should not go unnoted. He has a good post-up game and can move better off the ball than Tatum. But I will say this. Tatum's face-up game is much sharper than Jaylen's. All right, now to get to that defense, I have to keep it a buck. Jayson Tatum is not atrocious. However, at times, he seems quite soft in the post, which he'll have to defend if he's going to keep playing small forward. And his lateral quickness isn't amazing, but he has the tools to be a good defender, yet he's not making too much use of it right now. I say that because we have a lot of guys at his position who are expected to be locked down, as well as offensive providers such as old LeBron, KD, PG-13, Kawhi, Jimmy G, Gordon before the injury, etc. I mention this because he's been compared to the best. I mention the best because he's been compared to them in terms of his potential. So he has to start actualizing on that potential because quicker ball handlers will abuse him on the perimeter and stronger forwards will abuse him in the post, so he must work on that. Brown doesn't seem to have these issues, and while not as great as he should be, does play pretty good defense. Now, I just have to ask you guys, just to show what I mean. I'll ask the question. How many shooting guards in the league can play defense better than Jaylen Brown? Jimmy Butler definitely, Roberson, Klay Thompson, and probably Danny Green, and maybe Josh Richardson. Now, if you ask that same question for Jayson Tatum, you've got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, KD, Trevor Ariza, Robert Covington, Tobias Harris, Iguodala, and there are more that play better defense at the small forward position than Jayson Tatum. Now, just to show you guys the kind of standpoint these two are in on this team right now as it stands, there were two quotes from Brown and Tatum that I thought really summed up their situations appropriately. On March 5th, Brown stated, end quote, "To be honest, I'm not feeling good at all. Because right now, it's not good. It's toxic. I can't really point out one thing. I don't have all the answers. I'm just going to try and be a part of the change. I'm going to try to do my best. That's all I've got to say," end quote. In this interview, we can see that it's clear Brown is not happy with his current situation, playing time and rotation-wise in Boston. It's clear he knows what he did in the playoffs last year, and he doesn't feel that he's being used enough or that other guys are playing hard enough on defense. Now, Jayson Tatum is also showing his frustration with the team in his current situation, stating, end quote, "I'd trade me for Anthony Davis, too," end quote. And ESPN's Tim McMahon stated, end quote, "It's gossip, but the gossip is Jayson Tatum wouldn't mind. Jayson Tatum wouldn't mind if he shipped to New Orleans and has a chance to be the face of the franchise somewhere, because he's not going to get that opportunity in Boston, at least in the immediate future," end quote. The reason I bring this up is that everybody knows that Tatum trained with Kobe this summer. And look, man, I'm not going to lie. I believe that workout session last summer, along with the media, really gassed him and is making him think that he's more valuable than what he truly is at the moment. I see Jaylen Brown's ceiling as Kawhi Leonard if he modeled himself right and worked hard, as a 6'7" wing who's athletic and defensive, who can knock down the outside shot and finish at the cup while bringing the intensity. While I see Tatum's ceiling being Paul Pierce as a smooth operating wing who doesn't play great D and probably is going to become very clutch in the near future. When it comes down to it, look, man, I see Jaylen Brown's potential being Kawhi Leonard, and I see Jayson Tatum's potential being Paul Pierce. And I believe that Jaylen Brown is just straight up more of a dog when it comes down to it. I don't believe Tatum will ever live up to these expectations because he got gassed too early, and it's already getting to his head. Kobe, MJ, Wade, Durant, LBJ, Bird, they all knew how good they were coming in, and they kept grinding and improving year to year. Tatum has made no leap since last year. He looks about to be about the same player, and Brown hasn't had the opportunity to go in on that squad. I already know some fanboys are going to come in my comments and try and wage war because of what I said, but I challenge you to go, I challenge all of you to go look at their per 36 stats and tell me that Tatum is definitively better. Go look at the playoffs last year and tell me, outside of the Philly round where Brown was injured with a hamstring injury, who was better? Their progression is comparable, and Brown has gotten very inconsistent playtime this year, and I don't believe that Tatum will bring that smoke like that. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. I like both, but I believe Tatum has a higher trade value, and that Brown has more value to the Celtics as it stands. Now, thanks for all to making it to the end of this video. If you aren't subbed yet, what are you doing? Come on now. Click that subscribe button and that bell to keep up with the channel and new videos. Let me know down below, who would you trade this summer, Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum, or would you keep both of them and why? And you already know to never be mad at me, but to be mad at yourself for being an underachiever. Play the outro.